What is up, my beautiful people? Welcome back to episode 8 of the Bling and Branding Podcast, where we come to be entertained, educated, and elevated. Today is not going to be my typical unhinged, high energy interview. This episode is all about showcasing the unique talents of my guest, who has become quite the internet sensation. She blew the heck up on TikTok back in 2020 and coined the term food fashion. Really, really interesting. So the last few years, she's just been given all these pretty sweet opportunities, and we're going to talk about it. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. See you on the flip side.
Hi everyone, my name is Ruby Perman. I am a fashion food artist, and I take fruits, vegetables, anything edible, and plate high fashion looks on celebrity faces. Thank you so much for having me on the podcast.
Oh my gosh, it's such a pleasure to have you. Honestly, I remember seeing you around when I was living at my parents' house, and when I came back for Christmas a few years ago, I think, and my mom was like, "Have you seen Ruby's Instagram?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she showed me. I was like, "Wait, this is the coolest thing ever." So Ruby,
Well, that's what's great about that story is your mom, has a garden, and she has fresh vegetables, and she actually brought me fresh broccoli, and I dressed your mom in a broccoli dress.
Oh my
I don't know if you've seen that video. So that was when it all, just the beginning, when I was just taking, whatever was in my kitchen and making food dresses out of it. So your mom was actually one of the very beginning pieces of art that I created.
Oh my God, that's amazing. She didn't tell me that. Well, oh my gosh, Ruby, how about you tell us a little bit more about your creative background and what really led you to this food fashion experience journey that you are currently on?
Sure. Well, if we want to go way back, I was born in Taiwan, and my parents owned a restaurant in Taipei. So I grew up around the preparation of food and making food look pretty and so forth. And then, at the age of 7, my parents decided to move the whole family to California. And then living in California is how I am so intrigued by the art of fashion, because fashion is a feast for the eyes, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
especially the red carpet fashion. It's beautiful and it's outrageous, and we all love seeing what the celebrities are wearing. So I studied graphic design in college, and then I knew that I would always be in the art world. And then the combination of my love for fashion and food design merged during the beginning of the pandemic. So my passion project was to create a mini red carpet fashion show in my kitchen with celebrities dressed in food looks. And then I just posted them on my socials, and that's how I became a fashion food artist.
Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. Are there anybody else that's doing this? Or are you really just the pioneer for this incredible, niche that you've created?
I don't know anyone that's really doing what I'm doing. Gosh, I just I think other people are always suggesting their favorite celebrities and different looks and stuff. But yeah, I think it was just one of those things where I just took my two loves, and I just wanted to create something different and something that made me happy and smile. So
That's
I think
amazing.
that's all that came about.
That's got to be the true definition of happiness, right? Just creating whatever it is, merging your passions to create something new. That's so incredible. I'm so happy for you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, I think, I believe in when the whole pandemic happened, I think a lot of us just we needed the creative outlet, and we just started doing what really makes us happy. And I love that so many amazing art has blossomed during this lockdown. So it was honestly kind of a like a little blessing in the way
Mm-hmm.
that we were all forced to do what we love as opposed to our 9 to 5 job. Like we really just found our passion, which is really cool.
I agree. My cooking skills definitely leveled up during the lockdown because obviously we couldn't go anywhere, right? So, and everybody was taking like the pre-made stuff off the shelves because they were like hoarding or whatever. So, I don't know about you, but all the grocery stores around me only had like fresh fruit and vegetables and fresh meat because everybody was like hoarding the preservatives. And so I was like, okay,
Oh
like I
my God.
guess I'm just gonna be cooking all these yummy, fresh, delicious meals.
Oh my gosh, exactly. And that's actually how, a big part of my, working with food as a medium
Mm-hmm.
for art is that
Mm-hmm.
I was doing so much cooking for my family. And so, when you spend your whole day in the kitchen, you
Uh-huh.
start to go, okay, what else can I do with
Totally
this
feel
food
that.
besides making it pretty on the plate? So, yeah, my first art plate was actually I just was doing a new profile photo of myself, and I made myself a mango dress, which is my favorite fruit,
Yes.
and I that became my profile photo, and the response was so positive that I was like, you know what, this would be really fun just to dress, other people in any kind of food. So that's really kind of how it blossomed
That's
into
amazing.
what it is today.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it reminds
Yeah.
me too of like when I was a little kid, you could get these cutouts of like fashion dolls and it was paper and you could
Yeah.
like dress
Oh my gosh.
them.
Yes. Yes, paper dolls. And I grew up with that, and I'm sure your mom would remember those too. I mean, I'm sure they're still around, but yeah, we used to before internet and before all the games that you can play
Uh-huh.
on just the computer before computer days. Like we would have to cut out these paper dolls and then just dress them in different paper outfits. So I'm happy that you know what I'm talking about, because that's exactly what I do now
Yes.
is I cut the celebrity faces out and then I dress them in food.
Yes, you do, and you do it quite well. So when you started this journey, was it with the intention of it blowing up and going somewhere? And if so, what did that branding strategy look like for you?
Well, never. I mean, I didn't think in a million years that so many people would find my videos so interesting. So my intention was just to create my own art therapy. Art
Mm-hmm.
has helped me through some really difficult times in my life, and creating art really feeds my soul and makes
Mm-hmm.
me happy. So when I started growing my followers, that's when like the brands started reaching out, like Disney and Pixar, and it was just a dream come true and an icing on the cake to be able to turn my art into a business.
Mm-hmm.
And then partnering with brands is so exciting because I get to recreate the characters that they
Yeah.
give me in the movies that they want to promote, and then create them in food art. So last year was really exciting because I worked on the movie Elemental. I don't know if you saw it, but it's such a great
Oh
movie.
my gosh.
It has these two characters. One is water. His name
Mm-hmm.
is Wade, and then Ember is the fire, the girl that's
Oh,
the
that's
fire.
cute. Uh-huh.
And I was so cute. And what was really great about creating this art was that I had to light her on fire. So I
Mm.
was able to play with lighting her red. She was made of tomatoes and red peppers,
Oh, cool.
and then I was pouring. Yeah, I poured like I totally Googled like how to light food on fire. And that was like so much fun because you only get one take. So I go, okay, here it
Yeah.
goes. I practiced on a tomato. I was practicing on tomatoes before I actually did it on my art. But yeah, that was really a really unique way to do something different. I'm always trying to explore with different ways to either uh, edit my videos or
Mm-hmm.
different ways to make food look interesting in
That's
my
so
art.
incredible. How did Pixar and Disney approach you? What was that like?
They I've worked with them previously
Okay.
on like the Frozen movies. And so I
Okay.
think that it's really just through TikTok because
Mm.
I was fortunate enough to when I started posting on TikTok, it was just blowing up.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that my first video was Jennifer Lawrence in a pomegranate dress, and I
Mm-hmm.
posted that, and then it went viral, and I was like, wow, I think I should just start posting my videos on here. And so my followers grew so fast that I think that the brand started contacting me through TikTok mostly.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, so then, now I think it's a little bit more challenging for people who are starting on that platform because it's kind of now with a bunch of influencers
Yeah.
selling things and doing all kinds. So it's really changed. So I think I was in the right place at the right time. You know how that goes. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Marketing is all right place, right time, like aside from obviously your effort, but a lot of that, like a little bit, excuse me, things going viral is like half, I feel like, the content, and then the other half is just sheer luck. Like, did it hit the right people's
Yeah.
plates at the right time? And if so, because obviously on TikTok, you got to get those first views really quickly so that the algorithm is like, oh, like this is gaining traction. Like people want to see this. Let me plop this on more For You pages. But that's
Yes.
seriously so, so incredible. I love that. What was that feeling like seeing your first design just blow up? Like what was that? What did that feel like to you?
Well, it's so interesting because, at first when I was like, oh, look, a couple hundred people, have seen my art that I don't know, right? And then like the
Mm-hmm.
next day it would grow to like thousands. And then the next day it was like, hundreds of thousands. And then
Mm-hmm.
when it got to a million, I was like, I can't even like literally picture that many people. So, so I still can't. Like, how does that? I don't even know. I mean, how many people that I mean, it's so mind-boggling, mind-blowing when I think about like how many people that have seen that video, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think in the beginning the algorithms didn't play as much as they do now. So I
Yeah.
think that they were just kind of like showing it to pretty much everybody. So it was so much easier back then for your videos to go viral, I feel like.
Well, so now that you are this internet sensation, what shifts have you seen in your branding and marketing practices? And like, how has that journey kind of transitioned for you in terms of what has worked well?
I feel so lucky to be able to create art and partner with brands, and it's
Mm-hmm.
definitely a shift because I have to balance creating videos
Mm-hmm.
for my own like, love and my own community as
Uh-huh.
well as the advertising for companies.
Mm-hmm.
And meanwhile trying to stay authentic to my brand
Of
because
course.
I do love just creating, what the people want to see, and then I also want to also work with these amazing brands as well. So it's definitely a juggling feature, and I'm a team of one. So I create the content, I edit my videos, and then I post it on all my socials. So it's a lot of work, but I love it. I think you have to really just love doing your art,
Of
and then it
course.
doesn't become work. It just becomes yeah, like a definite it's a work in progress, but I love doing it every day.
Well, that's good because I feel like even, people that are doing something that they're passionate about, sometimes burnout is kind of inevitable. So I'm glad to hear that you found a nice, happy balance of, still contributing to the community that supports you and fulfilling your passions and also, getting those brand deals and working with those massive companies. That's awesome. What would you say?
Thank you.
Of course. What would you say are your favorite materials to work with? I know you work with like a slew of all things edible. What's been your favorite so far?
Oh, I know. I do have favorite ingredients such as like, strawberries and candies, but I'm always challenging myself with new ideas,
Mm-hmm.
such as the look I created recently with Oprah Winfrey. I don't know if you saw that one, but I wanted to make her a purple dress. And then my sister came over and she was cooking Okinawa sweet potatoes,
Yes,
right? Which
yes,
are
yes, yes.
purple.
Oh my God,
And
I
I
was
was
telling
like,
someone about this. Oh my gosh, yes.
oh my God. Yeah. So I was like, oh my gosh, she's, producing the color purple. So how
Mm-hmm.
great would it be to make her a dress with this ingredient? So I, researched like, how to like mash it up and use different
Mm-hmm.
textures. So I practiced using a strainer. And if you push the potato in through the strainer, it
Mm-hmm.
becomes like this cool, like furry texture. So
Okay.
then I used that for the fluffy fur texture for her top. And then
Uh-huh.
I been always wanting to practice my palette painting, right? I've seen
Mm-hmm.
like people painting with their palette knives.
Uh-huh.
So I created her dress with these this using only a palette knife. I created flowers with the Okinawa sweet potatoes. So that
Yes.
to me was like so satisfying,
Oh my
and I'm
God.
really proud of that one. And somebody actually commented, "Oh, yeah, I'm so happy that Oprah liked it," and I was like, "I didn't even know
Oh
that."
my
So
God.
I was
That's
so happy that she
crazy.
actually saw it, right? So I was like, "Yay!" Oprah actually liked my video, so that was really cool.
I was literally this exact concept. I was at my boyfriend's salon earlier this morning because I forgot to make him his shake, and I was dropping it off, and I just got to talking with his sweet client, this woman, and I was bragging that I get to interview you today, and she was like, "Oh,
Aw.
what does she do?" And I explained it, and she was like, asking more details, and I was like, "She just made this dress out of like rice paper and sweet potato."
Oh,
And I'm
yeah.
just like, how, I don't even know how this woman comes up with these ideas or works with these materials in the way that she does, but it's so freaking cool. And I can't believe you just brought up that exact reference. That's really serendipitous.
Oh my. Yay! Yeah, and rice paper is like my one of my favorite things to
Mm-hmm.
play with because it's like fabric when you
Yeah.
wet it.
It looks like
It's like
chiffon.
totally so fun. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I love rice paper.
Yes, that's amazing.
Yeah,
I
so
love that.
yeah, I'm so happy you saw that one.
So what's been the hardest material where you were like, I'm about to give up, but I'm now committed?
Oh my gosh. Well, what's funny is the most recent, I was on KTLA on
Mm-hmm.
Thursday, and
Mm-hmm.
they said for me to dress Sam Rubin, and they're like he loves happy cherries, and for candy, it's really easy to make like a gown for a woman, but
Uh-huh.
then when I have to make a man suit out of happy cherries, I was like so stressed out. I was like, how am I going to make a man suit out of these happy cherry candies? But I experimented with melting it. So then I
Mm.
melted the
Yes.
cherries, and then I made him. The cherries became a puffy hoodie jacket. So I told him on the show, I said, I used to say, oh, avocados are really hard to work with. But
Mm-hmm.
then now I'm like, oh, it's definitely Sam's puffy hoodie because that was quite challenging. I did it like 10 times. I was like, okay, that didn't work. That didn't work. So sometimes, it's a bit frustrating, but then, once you get it to work, it's like,
Yeah.
I'm just so happy.
Now you can add it to your repertoire, right?
Exactly. Yeah. But I do love to, one of the greatest things about working with food is there's so many different ingredients from, bubble gum to, seeds to, like today I work with almond butter. So it was
Oh,
like,
cool.
there's so many different things to play with and to make into an outfit. So, um, but yeah, I would have to say, besides avocados, yeah, sometimes melting candy or having something that is perishable. Yeah, like
Yeah.
cotton candy is really difficult to work with because it looks so pretty when you put it on the plate, but then if
Uh-huh.
you don't film it right away, it's like melts so fast,
Oh,
and that
yeah.
becomes really stressful as well. So yeah, I would say cotton candy has been like, I've been fighting with that ingredient for a while.
I could see
Then once
that.
you
Yeah.
get it on there, yeah, because you don't realize it once it gets exposed to air,
Mm-hmm.
it just starts to disintegrate, right? Because there's moisture in the air.
That's right. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I can't remember
Yeah.
the last time I had cotton candy. It had to have been like over a decade ago.
Oh, I know it's such a little like childhood, when you go to the fair, you get the
Hmm.
cotton candy.
Yeah, or like the
Yeah.
circus or something. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, the circus. I know, it's so fun.
So, how do you go about choosing the looks that you want to create? What does that process look like for you? Do you choose the look first and then go to the materials and experiment that way? Or let's break down your creative process, shall we?
Yes. Well, I have many different techniques and inspirations. Sometimes I recreate red carpet looks,
Mm-hmm.
and then sometimes my creations are my own designs, and it's based off of what I'm having for dinner and so forth. But if I'm recreating a red carpet look, I definitely go, okay, I'm gonna do the color red. I'll go to the supermarket and I'll be like, okay, what's the color red? Like strawberries,
Mm-hmm.
cherries, and so forth. But then if it's something that I want to design off of my own spontaneous
Mm-hmm.
design, then
Uh-huh.
I just literally sometimes it's like, okay, what am I making for dinner? Am I making spaghetti? And then I'll make like a spaghetti dress, right? So
Okay, that's
it really
fun.
depends.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I not only recreate looks, but I do my own designs as well.
That's so cool.
So that's really fun because then I get to use my own, creativity. And sometimes I design it and I draw it
Mm-hmm.
out, and then sometimes I just kind of just do it, off the top of my head. So if that makes sense,
Yeah,
like,
no, that was my next question actually, because obviously if you're going off the top of your head, you don't have necessarily like a pattern or picture to go off of. So is that like hard in terms of,
right.
placement and making sure it looks, like an actual body type or dress? Would you say that's probably the hardest of, doing something that's completely off your head? Or what would you say is the hardest part of creating your own design?
Yeah, I think that probably the proportions, and then
Mm-hmm.
also, the arm placements and so forth.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Is quite challenging. But my community, they love the celebrity food puns. So my most popular videos, and this is how I choose the ingredients, is like my most popular video is Benedict cucumber batch, right? I had a cucumber, and I literally said to myself, oh, who can I make out of this cucumber? And for some reason I thought, oh, Benedict cucumber batch. And that was just a one single ingredient outfit,
Hmm.
and people went crazy over that one, right? So then I was thinking, okay, I can do other celebrity puns. So, I've done like Robert Brownie Jr.
Yes.
He's he's very popular right now. And then my latest one, which isn't even a pun, but I get so many requests for Kevin Bacon,
Bacon, yeah.
and
Hmm.
it's just so obvious, right? So it's so obvious, but I was like, okay, I'm starting off the year with everyone's been waiting for this one, Kevin Bacon, and everyone has been sharing and reposting his video. It's hilarious, and I hope he gets to see it because everyone's tagging him. But I'm sure that he's so sick and tired of people, sending him bacon things. But mine is actually because I made his white shirt out of an egg white, so
Yes.
it's actually
Hmm.
Kevin Bacon and egg. So
I love
I added
that.
the egg in there.
That's great. I mean, at least, have you ever heard the Kevin Bacon 6 degrees conspiracy that everybody is like
Yes.
6 degrees separated from Kevin Bacon? So, at least 6 degrees separation. He's very close to seeing your post, if not liking it, I think.
I love that. Okay, good, good. Yeah, somebody, will share it to somebody, and then you'll share it,
Exactly.
and then hopefully the 6 degrees will get to him.
Exactly.
Yeah, I learned, which is a really fun fact. If because the 6 degrees is such a popular term now, that if
Hmm.
you Google any name, like um, you know, uh, who would you say, like name a celebrity, right? And then
Jennifer
you just put
Lawrence. Yeah.
okay, you put Jennifer Lawrence, and then you just put 6 degrees after that. It will
Hmm.
actually give you the relations to Kevin Bacon and the and everything that leads up to the connection with that. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting. Oh my gosh, I'm definitely gonna
Yeah,
have to
like
play
it's
around with that.
yeah, like the term is so, it's like such a part of pop culture now that
hmm
that's recognizable by Google, which is really awesome, right?
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Especially with like AI and stuff now, like the internet is capable of a lot of things.
Oh, I know. The whole AI thing is kind of yeah, what is your feeling on that? Like do you think that AI is going to just, I mean, replace like, people, I mean, doing like podcasts and things also? Like,
So,
what is to stop them from just doing everything?
yeah,
It's kind of
no,
crazy.
I get that. My whole thing with AI, at first it made me really uncomfortable because we've all seen like iRobot and like all of those movies where AI takes over the world. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
like did we not learn our lesson from, forecasting?
right.
But in terms of everyday use and stuff, currently, I don't see there being an issue. I personally use AI every day almost. I put all of my content through ChatGPT and use it to write my podcast notes and things. So I put the
Oh,
transcription
very nice.
in ChatGPT and say, spit out a synopsis that's SEO optimized for my website. And it spits it out. I always
Wow.
obviously have to, workshop it, make it sound more like me and stuff, but it cuts out like hours and hours of work for myself. So if you know how to utilize AI to your advantage, it can
Yeah.
save you a lot of time.
I love that, I mean, we can't be afraid of technology. We have
Yeah.
to learn to
Adapt.
grow with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And partner with it. Yep, yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, that's a very good answer.
Thank you. So obviously the internet's come a long way since 2020. What are kind of the biggest shifts that you've noticed in the various social media platforms that you use, and how did you kind of adapt to those and overcome?
Well, yeah, like we're discussing, social media is constantly evolving.
Mm-hmm.
And as a creator, I also have to adapt to grow my community.
Of
And when
course.
I first started posting my videos on TikTok, it was just blowing up and I was at the right place at the right time. And then the
Mm-hmm.
algorithms became a reality. And then the threat of our government shutting down TikTok,
Yeah,
I knew I had to kind of branch out, right?
of course.
So at that point, YouTube, yeah, the YouTube was just starting out with their shorts.
Oh, uh-huh.
So I started posting my videos on YouTube Shorts, and then in less than a year, I received the coveted Silver Play Button
Oh
Award
my
for
God,
reaching
that's
over 100,000
amazing.
subscribers. Yeah, so like we were talking about, I think we just really need to evolve and with social media and our whatever is the latest with AI or
Mm-hmm.
technology or new social platforms. I just think that it's constantly changing. So I think that it's really great to like what you're doing, just to partner with it and
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to being afraid of it.
Yeah, so I've always kind of dragged my toes with YouTube for whatever reason, but I've heard from so many creators that it's still a fairly untapped market because I think so many people
Yeah.
feel the same way that I feel. They're like, ah, it's a beast. I don't know how to tackle it. Do you feel like it's still in that kind of prime space where if somebody were to start pouring efforts into a YouTube page that you would still have, it's not saturated enough, you could still have a chance of getting pretty big?
I do. Just, simply by my own experience, I
Mhm.
was really kind of surprised, especially in the shorts, because, they're trying to compete with TikTok.
Yeah.
So they want creators to also do these short videos that are very entertaining. And then in between the short videos, they promote all their ads, right? So I was really surprised that they are paying the creators to create these shorts more than any other platform because TikTok and Instagram used to pay creators to create these small reels and
Mhm.
videos, but now it's kind of dwindled to pretty much nothing.
Yeah.
So they now we have to work with the brands and partner with them. Whereas YouTube is surprisingly shocking. They, they're always putting ads in before you watch anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that their advertising is is far more. I think we're just so used to seeing ads on YouTube. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, they're paying creators a lot more than I think any other social platform. So I definitely would get on that. If you want to start doing, I would just repost, whatever you're doing, the videos on TikTok
Mm-hmm.
on YouTube, and see
Yeah.
see where it takes you.
Yeah, that's a good
So that's
call.
exactly what I did. Yeah,
That's
I mean, I was pleasantly surprised. And I was just doing starting the YouTube just because I wasn't sure if our
TikTok was going
government
to
was going to shut
exist.
down the
Yeah.
TikTok. Yeah, I know, right? I was like, I better branch out. Um, but yeah, it's always good to start something new and get creative in other platforms. Um,
Absolutely.
and you never know, yeah, where it's going to take you.
Absolutely. I don't know why I've never been such a TikTok person. My boyfriend is a huge, I mean, I'm sorry, YouTube person. My boyfriend's a huge YouTube person, and recently he's kind of gotten me
Wow.
more into it where, I've been learning more things about branding and marketing, and I've kind of forgotten, that YouTube is just this giant platform of untapped knowledge also, like to the flip side of the entertainment piece. If you want to learn anything, as long as you know the right question to ask, YouTube is it, right? It's all free, and there's
Yeah,
plethoras of different information and perspectives, and YouTube is a
so
golden
true.
goose. Absolutely.
I know. Yeah, it is. And when you think about it, kind of it's been around longer than anything, right?
Mhm.
So it's like, yeah, so full of knowledge. And yeah, when I'm like going on vacation or going to a new place, I'm always like searching, like, there's always people making a video about it or giving suggestions. So it's pretty cool.
Absolutely. Well, in terms of your favorite project that you've done to date, what would that be and what made it so great?
Well, the my favorite project I would say I did last year is partnering with Cirque du Soleil. To me, it was like the perfect partnership because their artistry and
Mm-hmm.
creative vision in costumes,
Yeah.
costume design, and just the music. Overall, music is so in line
Amazing.
with what
Yeah.
I want my audience to experience when they see my art. Is just the wow factor and the outrageous costumes and things. So it was so great when they contacted me and they said, for your inspiration, we would love for you to come to Vegas
Oh,
and come to see our shows.
oh my
And I
God.
was thinking, this is so amazing. How wonderful is that? So I was able to go like backstage
Oh,
to the Mystere and to see O and to see the actual costumes that they wear.
oh my
And it
gosh.
was just so, so, I mean, I was like a dream come true collaboration, seriously.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I was able to do that, and then they were celebrating their anniversary. It's been 30 years since the Cirque du Soleil first opened its door on Christmas Day
Oh, dang.
30 years ago. Yeah, so it was like such an honor to celebrate their anniversary, and then to be able to create art as part of the celebration.
That
So
is
that's definitely, I think, my
incredible.
favorite project to date. I know, right? I
Oh
mean,
my
seriously, I
God.
was like, oh my gosh, what an honor, because they're all about art and magic and just,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
wowing their audience. So that's
I
right up my alley for sure.
I have seen two Cirque du Soleil shows. One, I saw the Beatles
Ooh, which
Love.
ones?
I saw the Beatles Love when I was
Oh,
like,
love that one.
I think 12. My dad, you know how my dad is. We're going to do it. Like when he gets
Yeah.
his mind put to something, he's like, we're doing it yesterday. Let's go. So I think,
Right.
I think we were in Vegas for the softball World Series. We were like stopping there before we went to Utah. And on a whim, we're like out to dinner, and my dad sees the Beatles Love poster, and he's like, oh, we're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. And me and Alex were like super young. I think I was like 12. Alex was like 5 or 6 or something like that.
Oh,
And I was just like, this is the coolest freaking thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I was like,
right?
my jaw was on the
Yeah.
floor the entire time because I always wanted to be like
Oh
an
my gosh.
acrobat or a dancer or whatever, but I like just went the
Oh
tomboy route.
yeah.
So I was like in freaking awe of this show. I thought it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. And then I
Oh
also
my
saw
gosh.
the one with this that starts with a Z, I think. It's a little racier. But that was also super,
Yeah,
super incredible.
they have some for all ages and stuff, but oh my gosh, I totally can see you being in the Cirque du Soleil dance team. I know you dance and you do like all kinds of acrobatic stuff. So I could see you doing that.
Oh
That's
my gosh,
cool.
thank you
Yeah.
so much. I would just, if they would just like let me go on one of those trapeze jump, like trampoline thingies for just like a couple hours, I'd be a happy clam.
Right? I know that looks so fun, but I'm sure it takes hours and hours
Oh
of practice
yeah,
as I can see. Yeah.
for sure. But Cirque du
But yeah,
Soleil, if you're
very,
listening
very
to
cool.
this, I will settle for a podcast interview. I'd be really happy with that.
All right. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they're amazing. What a great company. Great. Yeah, it's just they they just mesmerize me every time I see one of their
Hmm.
shows.
Yeah, the production value is like otherworldly. So you've
Yeah,
had
definitely.
lots of really awesome opportunities come your way and that you've obviously very much earned with all your hard work and dedication. Is there anything in your journey that you've experienced so far that you would change? And if so, what would that be?
Yeah, honestly, I don't think I would change anything because everything that has led me to who I am today.
Mm-hmm.
Life is short and unpredictable, so I say just go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like do what you love what you do, and then you won't, yeah, then you won't ever regret, having created whatever your path is because you do it out of love. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'd have to say, yeah, I think I just am so lucky and fortunate to have found a niche that resonates with people.
Mm-hmm.
And creating art is about connecting people, and
Mm-hmm.
food and fashion brings people together. So I think that's how yeah, that is this. I'm just so excited that I found a niche because as an artist
Yeah.
it's very difficult. It's like I've dabbled with like painting, and I wrote my husband and I wrote a children's book, and I do all kinds of other art stuff, but I would never have thought that this would be what I would be doing,
Yeah.
playing with food and dressing
Oh
people out of food, right?
my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I bet Darren is just like, this is freaking cool, man. Like, my wife is just getting us to go to all these cool places. Because you also got invited to a wedding, right? In Turks and Caicos or something like that. And they had you come and
Yeah.
do all the guests' place settings, right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So the other part of my food art, which is so exciting, is that I create candy art plates for parties and events.
Uh
And
huh.
how this all started was Christine Chu. She's on that Bling Empire show. So she
Uh huh.
DM'd me and she's like, "Hey, I'm having a birthday party for Kathy Hilton. Paris Hilton's mom, right? She's in
Oh,
the
yeah. Uh huh.
Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Mm hmm.
So she's like, I'm having a surprise party for her at this restaurant. Can you make 18 plates in like 3 days? And I was like, no. Right. At first I was like, what? No, I don't think so. And then she's like, no, I would. I'm thinking, and this was actually her idea. She said, I'm thinking I'm going to have you do just these candy plates. I'm going to put them on everyone's tables, and then when they get to the party, they'll know where to sit. And I'm like, oh my
Oh,
god, it's like a nameplate, right?
yeah. That's
A
super
place setting.
cool.
So instead of your name, that yeah, you would just recognize your face.
That's so
So
cool.
I worked nonstop. I don't even think I slept for 3 days, and I delivered these plates in LA, and
Mm-hmm.
it was such a big hit that because they all like reposted them,
Of
and then
course.
from that party, I had so many inquiries to do other events. So I've done like bridal showers and weddings. So, but yeah, the one that you're talking about, which was so crazy wild, was that this couple flew me and Darren to Turks and Caicos to do her daughter's wedding for
hmm
90 people.
Oh my
Oh my
God.
God.
Oh
It
my
took me
God.
like, it took me, yeah, thank goodness they gave me plenty of time, like
Yeah.
2 to 3 months to prepare.
Uh-huh.
But then I prepped everything, and then we flew all the plates over, and then I put the finishing touches on the plates and helped set up the wedding. But it was gorgeous. Oh
Oh
my
my
gosh, the
gosh.
wedding was just so beautifully decorated, and then the plates were thank goodness everything went smoothly. So yes, from that party, I've done several different other events. So that's one of my a part of my art is not only do I just do the videos, but I also do these custom candy creations for art part. I mean, for anyone, and then I can ship them as well to anywhere around the world. So that's
Nice.
yeah. If anyone is interested,
So
they
that
can
was
DM
just,
me and
yeah, that was just born from somebody asking you to do that for them. So that's so cool. So they can DM you. Do you have like some sort of sheet that you have people fill out in terms of what they're looking for? What does that process look like for hiring you to do those custom plates for people?
yeah, I don't have an actual sheet because it depends on how many people and what they're looking for and the colors and the themes and stuff. So
hmm
I always just tell people to email me or DM me on Instagram. But yeah, my email is just my full name, Ruby Perman at me.com.
hmm
And then we can discuss, the 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 theme. Some people like a color theme. I do like a lot of holiday parties as well, where they have different color themes for different special events. And
Yeah.
yeah, even yeah, sometimes I do couples, like for weddings. I've done weddings, like engagement parties and
Oh,
stuff.
cool.
So that's always yeah, and it brings me so much joy to when people see their faces on a plate with their
hmm
favorite candy, and they are so surprised, and that just makes me so happy.
Oh my God. So you even do it with their favorite candy specifically sometimes? That's so cool.
Yeah,
Oh my God. I love that.
yeah,
How like thoughtful and personal that is.
right. Exactly. It's just a personal and a special gift for someone. And candy is non-perishable. So, when I
Mm-hmm.
ship them, I put them in an acrylic box, and then it becomes a table um a table centerpiece,
Perfect.
like
Yeah.
yeah, and then you can kind of keep it as an art piece on your table for people to see, like art piece.
Oh my gosh. Did you make any cool gingerbread houses since you've started this journey? Like any epic ones? I feel like you would be
Oh
really
my
good at that.
gosh. I love seeing those videos every holiday. I'm like, I'm gonna do it. Like, I have to do it. I used to do it with my kids when they were little, and
Uh-huh.
I love making gingerbread houses. But I honestly I haven't had time. But I
Yeah.
always love. I mean, there's like epic ones now. Like,
Yeah.
there's ladies that are like doing that, and they have a whole village, and I love
Absolutely.
watching those videos. But yeah, so yeah, maybe next Christmas.
I believe in
I'll
you.
do
Yeah, you'll
something.
have your
Yeah,
cool little
I know, right?
elves dressed in fun outfits and some
Right.
celebrities and make a whole like gingerbread village. I think that'd be so cool.
I know. And you know what I also want to do is make like a 3D dress out of a candy too.
Oh,
Like a
yeah.
um you know how they make cakes for like a real life Barbie doll?
Uh-huh.
Like, I always want to dress like a Barbie in actual food or candy,
Oh my
right?
gosh,
So that's on my
yes.
list too. But I just don't have time to do everything. But yeah, it would be really cool to have, like, a Barbie wearing like a candy dress. So, you'd have to like,
Absolutely.
yeah, you have to hot glue gun it or something like that. But yeah, I love those Barbie cakes,
Mm-hmm.
when they serve the cake and it's like she's wearing a cake dress.
Yes, 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 yes. I
That's
know what
like
you're talking
super
about.
fun. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So many different ways to play with your food.
Absolutely, there are. You have created your own food fashion niche. This is so incredible. What advice would
Oh,
you
thank you.
give? Of course. What advice would you give to somebody that's thinking about starting a passion project or wanting to? What would you say to those people that, maybe are just a little timid or afraid of failure or whatever else the reason might be?
Well, I think the my advice is to do what makes you happy, even if nobody's watching. So when you're
Mm-hmm.
creative, you feel love, and I think art is fueled by love, right? So if
Absolutely.
you do what makes you happy, then you're you're going to enjoy and feel good about what you're doing, right? So
Absolutely.
I read this quote. I don't even know who wrote it, but I love it. It was like, "Don't try to create something amazing or beautiful or important. Just create." Right?
Yes, I love
Don't
that.
you love that? It's
I
like,
love that.
I know, I love that. So it's like, just do it.
Just do it. This
But
is
yeah,
not
do what
sponsored
makes
by
you
Mikey,
happy.
but just do it.
Yeah, I love the just create. Just
Hmm.
create, period.
I
Yeah.
agree. That's kind of how this podcast. I have like a all or nothing type of personality, and I've been talking about doing a podcast for forever. I've hosted a few in the past that just kind of dwindled out, but one day I was like, you know what? I don't have any of this gear. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna do it. And now, I
Love.
have a podcast and I
Yeah.
have amazing guests like yourself, and it's happening. And I might not have, thousands of subscribers or anything, but I'm just doing this because I get to have awesome conversations with people like you, and I get to learn, and hopefully other people that listen to this are not only, entertained, but also learn things as well. So thank you so much for taking the time
I think
today,
it's
Ruby.
fabulous. Oh, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. And I love that you are doing exactly what we just discussed, right? Just
Yeah.
do what it makes you happy. And it's just, yeah. And I really am so happy for you that you are going for it and you've got everything all set up and it's just going to grow from here.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, this has been the most incredible conversation. You guys, thank you for tuning in. If you don't already, go ahead and check out Ruby Perman. She is on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. She makes beautiful food fashion videos with celebrities and friends and all the things. And I'm sure we're going to see even bigger and badder things from her in the coming year. Once again, Ruby, thank you so much for being here. It was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me on your podcast and best wishes to you in the future. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, how freaking cool is it that Ruby was able to mesh two of her biggest passions together and become like famous for it? Oh my gosh, what a dream. Well, if you enjoyed this episode as much as I did, please download it, like it, subscribe to it, share it with your friends. Let's all have some laughs, lessons, and brand new perspectives together. I release episodes every other Thursday at 1:11 Mountain Standard Time. You can find me on the Podbean app, my website, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts. Thanks so much for being here, and see you on the flip side.